appreciate that person. Out of 10, if someone had helped you, 1, hold on to that one. Forget about what people are saying about the 9. Those talking to you, they want to replace you or they want you to be like them. Let's have a heart of thanksgiving. Let's appreciate. That's why we are appreciating Pastor Bukola Oladiyun today. If this woman does not create the atmosphere for me, I won't be at my best. Now, take note of this. Ungrateful people are demoted by God. In fact, ungrateful people, they die young. They are demoted by God. Now, let me show you what I read in this Bible, and the thing was fearful. We have to be grateful. Stop saying, hey, when it is time to give, they come to me. Who are you? What do you have? You ain't got nothing. God owns everything. 1,001 cattle on the hill, they belong to God. Some will say, Pastor Wole is too proud. He said, you don't have anything. I repeat it. I don't owe you apologies. God has everything in your hand. Stop saying I'm a self-made person. It's a wrong statement. You are a God-made person. You say you are a self-made person. If God does not allow you to wake up yesterday, what will you do? It's a wrong statement. No one is self-made. Every achiever is God-made. Remove it from your lexicon. Stop saying, I am a self-made person. Who are you? If he cuts off your leg, what will you do? Give him all the glory. Don't share his glory with anyone. When it comes to giving, they come to me. It's because you are relevant, they come to you. God can raise stones to replace you. That's the Bible. Daniel chapter 4, I read 28. Listen. All this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. I'm reading NKJV. At the end of 12 months, he was walking about the royal palace of Babylon. He was walking about. Yes. Look at verse 30. The king spoke, saying, is not this great Babylon? Yes, great Babylon. That I have built for a royal dwelling by my mighty power. And for the honor of my majesty. Many of us, we are saying statements like this. See this great Babylon. See this investment. See everything. I have built it for my royal dwelling, not the royal dwelling of God. Say, by my mighty power. Is it in your Bible like that? He said he has mighty power. And the only one who has a mighty power is God. And for the honor of my majesty, instead of saying, this is great Babylon that God has built for his royal dwelling by his mighty power for the honor of his majesty. He said, this is great Babylon that I have built for a royal dwelling by my mighty power. A human being said, my mighty power. And for the honor of my majesty. Immediately he said that. The Lord said this one is ungrateful. Verse 31. While the word was still in the king's mouth, a voice fell from heaven. King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is spoken, the kingdom has departed from you. God brings down every ungrateful human being. I'm the CEO of this ABCD. In your mouth? In your mouth. God is the CEO. He puts you there for a season. God told him, your kingdom had departed for using the word that you have built a royal dwelling by your mighty power. Who owns your power? Who owns your energy? Who owns your skill? Who owns your talent? God. Anything God gives you, you don't use it to worship God and humanity, he takes. And they shall drive you from men. Your dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. For arrogating power and capability to yourself. They shall make you eat grass like oxen. And 7 times shall pass over you until you know that the Most High God rules in the kingdom of man, rules in boardrooms, rules in organization, and gives it to whoever he chooses. So what you are doing, God has given you. So why don't you thank God? Why don't you give him all the glory? That very hour, the word was fulfilled concerning Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from men and ate grass like oxen. His body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hair had grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like bird's claws. But look at verse 34. And at the end of the time that God degraded him, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted my eyes to heaven. Now he's looking unto heaven. And my understanding returned to me. Let your understanding return to you today, that what you have belongs to God, not you. Stop boasting of anything. Nobody must boast of anything. I bless the Most High, and praised and honored him who lives forever. Oh, yara in sense. Don't borrow himself sense. For his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing. You now know. He does according to his will in the army of heaven. And among the inhabitants of the earth, no one can restrain his hand or say to him, what have you done? Pay your tithe. All those pastors are shopping your money. Who go shop your money before? And we pastor go shop am. No apologies. If you give it, it's for your benefits. First fruit for your benefits. You support God, you help humanity, is for your benefit. Stop using all this sensual, physical sense, social media sense to be analyzing the Bible. Forget it. It won't work. Verse 36. At the same time, my reason returned to me. So, let your reason return to you. Begin to give God all his glory. And for the glory of my kingdom, my honor, my splendor returned to me. My counselors, my nobles restored to me. I was restored to my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added to me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol the honor of the King of heaven. Oh, 2 hands for one person. One make if any come baba toilet. Yara means 2 hands for one person. All of whose works are truth, and his ways justice. And those who walk in pride, he's able to pull down. Look at it. Read after me. And those who walk in pride. Say so. We are reading the Bible now. Read it now. What will he do? If I see any one of you, you talk about God's work anyhow. See, can you see the result there? If you walk in pride in the kingdom, God will put you down. Hey, break by fire, nothing will break. Because you have violated God's principle. Nebuchadnezzar was ungrateful to God. He said he was a self-made man. He arrogated power, majesty to himself. It is wrong to say, I am a self-made man. It is right to say, I am a God-made man. Every successful person is God-made. Never say, I wrote it here and I say it. Never say, I am self-made again. It is an insult against God, your creator. God makes everything, I say again and again, everything. Nebuchadnezzar boasted, and the Lord brought him down. And that is why on the matter of crime, you will never hear me say, I have done this, I have done that. God has done it. If God has made you healthy, it's God, not you. Not because of the tablets you are taking. It's God. If you use any tablet, if it works, God has made it work. Oh, you've not heard? Even in America, they lower the dosage so that you can come back. Anything you do that goes right is God. When you drum and it sounds, God has made it to sound. Not because that drum has leather. No. God can ask someone to be beating the air and there will be sound. So, as from today, let's learn to give God all the glory. Number 3, God cannot share his glory with anyone. Isaiah 42 verse 8. We sing this song, but maybe we don't know the gravity. Isaiah 42 verse 8. You are the Lord, that is your name. You will never share your glory with anyone. You will never share your glory with anybody. Almighty God, that is your name. I am the Lord, that is my name. And my glory I will not share with another, nor praise with any idol. So, when it is time to thank God on behalf of the gifts we have, let's thank God. Number 4, don't be like the rich fool in Luke 12, 16 to 21. He said, now I have made it, I have surplus. What will I do? I will pull everything down, I will rebuild. The Lord said overnight, I will take your life, you rich old fool. Be rich towards God and humanity. Anything you have, use it for God and humanity. And when you are using things for humanity, don't abuse humanity. Don't look at all these teenagers, give them money, and ask them to meet you in your guest house. Already, God, you have said, God, demote. God will just demote you. All the widows, help them without looking at their side. Anything you do is an investment. Do it for God. The man was rich, but not rich towards God. With what God has given you, is it towards God or towards yourself? Number 5. How can we give God all the glory? Number 1, through your offerings. In 1 Kings chapter 3, Solomon gave bountiful offering. He had an encounter of a lifetime. Number 2, through worship, through praise, through dance. I taught you about dancing the other day in 2 Samuel 6:14. David's danced and Michal, the daughter of Saul, mocked him, and he was barren for life. Number 3, obedience. Genesis 22. Last but not the least, acknowledge God always. Psalm 89 verse 1. I will sing of the mercy of the Lord forever. And that is why today I have come as a pastor of the church, as a husband of Pastor Bukola Oladiyun, to celebrate God in her life. Pastor Bukola Oladiyun, by the grace of God, you are Proverbs 31, 10 to 31. Daughter of God, woman. Proverbs 31, 10 to 31. Let me read it, then I summarize, then we go into communion. Proverbs 31. We need to give glory unto God. 10 to 31. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her. Oh, yes. So he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for the household and a portion of her maid servant. She considers a field and buys it. From her profit she plants a vineyard. She guards herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good and her life does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to the staff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. Of course, you know that. When he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies sashes for the merchant. Strength and honor. It's okay there. Baking is okay there. Strength and honor are her clothing. You can see her in that regalia. She also rejoices in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. My wife does not open her mouth like me. She's better than me. She will say it quietly, and power will move. And on her tongue is the law of kindness. She's very kind. She's very kind. She's very kind. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Never. She's a farmer. She's an educationist. She's an educator. She started